Before I start, mild spoiler warning for seasons 1 through 3 of Once Upon a Time. I love retellings, fairy tales, classic novels, anything. And I think that one of the best examples of retelling classic stories is the TV show Once Upon a Time. If you haven't watched the show, it's about many of the fairy tale and classic children's book characters that we know and love who are transported to our world and given fake memories. The show has become incredibly popular in the past couple of years, and I think there's a few things we can learn from it about how to write an interesting retelling. Number 1. Don't be afraid to flip readers' expectations on their heads. Once Upon a Time constantly twists the stories that we know. For example, this season we were introduced to a dark and twisted Peter Pan, nothing like the happy-go-lucky character of my childhood. In season 1, we found out that Little Red Riding Hood is the big bad wolf. Ariel's Ursula was actually Snow White's stepmother in disguise. Nothing is ever what it seems, and stories almost never follow the expected plot. This is part of what makes the show so interesting. I love fairy tales, and am pretty familiar with the original stories, along with the Disney movies. But I still never get bored because I'm always waiting to see how they will put their own spin on the classic tale. The second tip I have is explore beyond the surface of the story. Even when Once Upon a Time follows the basic story of a fairy tale, stepmother kills Snow White, dwarves put her in a glass coffin, prince revives her with true love's kiss, stepmother defeated, the writers still go deeper. Why did the stepmother want to kill Snow White? Is it really because she's pretty, or is there something more there? Where did she learn her magic? Did Snow White and the prince know each other before? Why is Grumpy grumpy? All of these questions, most of which we've never even thought to ask, are explored and answered in this show. Some of the best fairy tale retellings I've read are an exploration of an unanswered question, the background and motive of the villain, the thoughts and actions of a side character, the aftermath of the story. These new perspectives are another way of capturing the reader's interest. And number 3, retain some familiar aspects of the story. One of my favorite things about Once Upon a Time is how well it weaves classic elements of the fairy tales with the new twists. In the recent Ariel-centric episode, the Fork, or as we know it, the Dinglehopper, made an appearance. The evil queen still gives Snow White that classic poisoned apple, even if the reason Snow eats it is changed, and more logical. Chip, the little cup from Beauty and the Beast, is still an important part of their story, although it's just an inanimate object. These little elements make the show so rewarding for fans of the fairy tales, and particularly fans of the Disney movies. It's those things that, no matter how crazy and convoluted the storylines get, keep a sense of familiarity that connect the viewers to their childhood stories. So basically, the important thing about writing a retelling is to keep it interesting while still recognizable. Chances are, at least some of your readers are going to know the original story that your book is based on. Don't let them get bored. Keep them on their toes. So what are some of your favorite retellings? Books, TV shows, movies, any other Once Upon a Time fans out there? And what has made those retellings so great? Let me know in the comments, and make sure to tune in next Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. As always, we will be talking about internet etiquette, how to conduct yourself online, and we cannot wait to talk to you about that. Bye!